afternoon and welcome to the NGOCC podcast. We are glad to be back with you yet again on another beautiful and exciting episode of the podcast. Now, on this week's episode, we profile yet another interesting person. And of course, we are discussing issues of incest and other things that are usually prominent in our homes, but that we derail from. These could be harmful traditional practices of some sort. I'm your host. My name is Chiwesa Cecilia Mungulube, and this is the NGOCC podcast where we table various issues that are affecting you in your community. And on today's episode, I'm not alone. I'm joined by a very beautiful and interesting person. But before we even introduce our guest, please don't forget to look out for all the episodes that we have done as we are almost coming to the conclusion of our first season of the podcast. Do follow us on our YouTube channel, the NGOCC podcast. On Facebook, we are the Non-Governmental Gender Organizations Coordinating Council. On Instagram and TikTok, we are NGOCC Zambia, and of course on LinkedIn and Twitter, NGOCC Zambia. We also have a website, which is ngocc.org. All those are our platforms which you can reach to us on and get to check some of the works that we are doing. Now, like I mentioned earlier, today we are discussing incest, and the guest on the table today is none other than Salome. Good afternoon and welcome to the podcast.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
We are glad to be here.
So am I.
Yeah.
Thank
Now,
you.
before we even dive into the discussion, perhaps you would want to give a little background, your name, who is Salome, what do you do, all those nitty-gritties about you, just for people to know you.
Nothing gritties. Right. Well, Salome Namskoma. Yeah. Background. Okay, so I think most of my background, like how I've come to grow up and, become, is tied to the incident that happened. And in so many ways, that has shaped me because I don't think I remember myself, like, before that incident or how I was. Most of the things that I remember or how I've grown up and what I can summarize to be, not so motivated, the things that came after that, it was after the incident. So I think that incident marked me and how I evolved into becoming this
Who
person
you are
now.
today.
Yeah.
Let's dive right into the topic of discussion today, which is incest, and you having been a victim of attempted rape. How did you welcome that, or when it first happened, what was on your mind when you faced that?
I don't exactly remember like what was on my mind, but I just feel like that experience marked me because from that point on, I started looking at myself differently, and not just myself, but even the people around me, and how it all went down and what happened afterwards. Yeah, it was not something that I don't know the word I can use to express how I looked at it or what was on my
What
mind
was on your
exactly,
mind
that
exactly?
time. But yeah, and having experienced that attempt and it not going through, like actually happening, I thank God for that. And I thank God for the people that had come through, like in that moment when, yeah, they heard my scream and whatnot. So yeah, like after that, and my family not being like really involved in it, like sitting me down, having to talk about it, checking on me to see if it affected me in any way. I kind of just put it at the back of my mind somewhere, but it would come up many times than not. Yeah, it would come up when I'm alone, and gradually it started intensifying as I came about, because I think I was 11 at the time. So now 11, that is more like almost sensitive age. Yeah, so at 11 something like that happens, and the people around you almost act like it didn't happen. So you just kind of, start rolling with it, acting like it didn't happen. But then I would have instances because, after experiencing that, I started becoming like really conscious of myself, my surroundings, the people around me, men. And I would like question people's kindness. Like, why are you being kind? Why are you being nice? People would be genuine, but that would just
Because
kick
it
in.
was always at the back of your mind.
Yeah, it was always somewhere. So I just began being, I don't know, vigilant and really assertive of my environments, but not entirely in a good way. Because now I became like really self-aware, and not just aware about, the good things about myself, but like, what would attract someone to want to do that to me? It means there's something. So if, if it's the way I dress, I had to change the way I dress. I think it's from that time that I'm most comfortable nowadays. I'm most comfortable in pants, like wearing pants. Dresses, skirts, not that much, because I don't know. From that point, because I remember I was wearing a dress when that incident almost happened. Yeah, when the thing happened, I was wearing a dress. So from that point, like, it's not that much, because I feel like, okay, maybe it's because I was exposing myself. So now I want to be covering myself. I want to, to try and ensure that the men around me should not see me like that. Like, I don't want to give you a reason to see me, to have ideas of me like that. Yeah. So
Let's now talk about the incident and how it happened when you opened up to family.
it wasn't a matter of opening up to family, because
Were they around when it was happening?
yeah,
Okay.
that's the thing. So I didn't feel like the need of
Having to talk about it with them. And the one
because-
who attempted to rape you is actually a relative.
yes, a distant relative.
Okay.
Yes. And it's something that happened in broad daylight, and family was there. Yeah, like, family was there. Some neighbors were there. So I didn't see, I don't know, where something happens in the open. So it's like everyone knows, but then they just had to check in on their child, check in on the child. Is she fine? Did, like, follow up on what had just happened, but no. So really, on the part of opening up to them,
They were around.
You were around.
So you expected that under normal circumstances were supposed to take action.
Yes.
But did they maybe even try and maybe confront the perpetrator or anything like that?
Not to my knowledge. Like, I wasn't, the fact that they didn't come to me to check up on me, I don't think they did. Yeah, because if they did, the right thing would have been to come to me to, let's say, get the entire picture of what had happened, right? That would show that, okay, they are trying to follow up. Yeah, but none of that was done. And that really, it brought me in a place where even opening up, like talking, being vulnerable with people, I became closed in. Yeah, I became, because I don't remember how exactly I was, if I was like a bubbly kid before the incident. I don't exactly remember that part. So all I remember after that incident is that I became quiet, especially around family, and they would attest to that. I became quiet because I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel, where you feel like, okay, even if I opened up to them about what I'm currently what is currently going on with me right now, they wouldn't understand, because you didn't that was like a big deal and you seemed not to care. So like that.
How was it like? I know you've talked about how you became a closed up person and how it genuinely affected you mentally, but how was it like, because now you are growing into a teenager and you are living with that thing at the back of your mind? What would be some of the permanent effects that you think it had on your teenagehood and your personality?
My self-esteem. And I've had to deal with that for the longest. And I know some of the people would, because sometimes you have to put on your big girl pants because you've grown. And because I haven't opened up to a lot of people about this thing that had happened, so not a lot of people know. And for some that do not know, put on the big girl pants, they'll see you. You may have some people that may tell you that, no, we know her, she's confident, she's this and that. But at the core, because that was just a mask that I would put on, for people that have no idea what I am fighting with, what I am battling with. And not liking myself, not loving myself, I would make decisions that are detriment to my well-being because, I don't know, like, what's the big deal? That's what I would think. But then it was a big deal. Like, but for the fact that what had happened then didn't seem like a big deal, or the people that were around me did not make it seem like it was a big deal. So I thought, okay, maybe everything else isn't a big deal because what's there? So yeah, self-esteem. My self-esteem has been non-existent, actually, to be honest. Yeah, like non-existent where just not believing in myself. And I think there was a point where, where you become so negative that you would have a friend that would be trying to be positive, right? Like encouraging you because, they see what you can be and whatnot. But like in the whole conversation of the person trying to encourage you and whatnot, you're just so negative. Like you don't see any hope and thing, like yeah.
How has the healing process been, or perhaps before we even go to the healing process, what kind of a person were you during your teenagehood? The fact that you lost your self-esteem, what are some of the things that you did maybe to protect yourself? Anything that changed your personality?
Yeah, towards my personality, like I, for the most part, I started acting like a boy because I've grown up with short hair, plus some of my features, like, it complemented my boyish features, like the short hair and whatnot. So, yeah, started acting like a boy because I wanted to feel like I could protect myself. So there isn't anything that you would tell me that a boy can do that I will not bring myself up to task to do. Like, you tell me to dig a ditch, I'll dig a ditch because I don't want you to see or think that I'm weak or I'm, such a girly girl that, no, I can't do this, because there are girls that cannot dig a ditch. Not every girl can dig a ditch. But then it's not, I wasn't doing that out of just, I can do it. At the core of it, I was trying to show the guys around me that don't mess with me because I'll throw hands. I'll protect myself if that need arises. So I think in the area where I grew up, not a lot of people, guys, that is, even approached me because the energy I was giving was just like,
Which is animating.
She can throw hands. Like, I won't talk to you, but you will get that. You will feel it. And that was just a way that I found I could protect myself, keep myself safe and whatnot.
And how did it affect how you related with your fellow girls?
With my girls, I will be a girl.
Okay.
You like from my voice, you can tell that
Yeah.
she's just a girl.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, so with fellow girls, like I would just be a girl. But even they would know, like there are just certain things that we know she would do. You know how girls in a class when they're sweeping or trying to get a desk, you know those times where the desks are filled in a classroom and then you would have to go to another class to go and get a desk. I would carry a desk on my own, like carry it over my head, and I know everyone will be surprised, the guys, the girls and whatnot. I'm like,
Yeah.
cause what? Like, yeah. So I would just put it out there that I'm strong.
Let's talk about your healing process and how you've been able to finally come out on such a platform, you know, and talk about it.
It's not been easy. And
Yeah.
I think it's all God, but because I think there was a time for the longest I've been telling myself like, girl, you need a therapist. Like you need someone to counsel you. You need someone that is going to help you like take off all the things that you have bottled and whatnot. But really, for the most part, it's God. Like I cannot talk about my healing and my becoming without God, because for the most part, really, it has been God. And also, school, because school became like, that is secondary school. Yeah, it became like my second home. Yeah. And at school, I was in drama and poetry. So that was also one of the ways that I learned how to, express myself. So whenever I would feel overwhelmed because I couldn't open up to people, I would write or write my emotions, right? Now when I grew up, I realized that they call it journaling. So yeah, so I went journal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then along the way, I realized that I also have a passion for art. So drama really helped because I felt like I belonged. Yeah, like it was a really good family that we had in drama. That was a school. And the guys, like in the drama club, I didn't feel like I needed to protect myself like that. It felt safe. Yeah. And not even in the sense that I had told them my experience or what had happened to me, no, but there was just that. I think it's one of the things that God intentionally put like in my journey. Yeah, so that highlighted my passion for art, writing. Yeah, so that has been one of the ways that I've really gotten to even this place. Last that day during the
webinar.
yeah, I don't know, I didn't intend to, and even just joining the Zoom, like
webinar.
it wasn't like, I was just like, okay, let me just join just to see if it's going to be,
An interesting webinar to attend
yeah,
by
because
NGOCC. What is this about?
yeah, and that was like my first time interacting with NGOCC. Like interacting, because I think I've been seeing it, but then like interacting with it, that was like my first time. So that day, I don't know, I guess it's just God that just gave me the peace to share, yeah, on the call, because aside from me just sharing, I also wanted to know, because many other times that we like something like that happens, right? And then no one talks about it. It's hush hush. And then the person that experienced that, something happened to them. And even though they may not realize it in that moment, because I don't think I realized the impact of what had happened right there and then. But then with time, like you start like finding these things out about yourself, and then you're like, okay, God, why am I like this? Like, I don't think I was like this, but I don't also like being like this, because it's not a good place to be at. It's really not a good place to be at. So yeah, it's been God and the strategic people that he has put in my life like that. Yeah.
There are those people that have been victims of rape, it has actually happened to,
Yeah.
victims of defilement and any other forms of incest. I think due to certain traditional beliefs in some instances where people think like it's okay for you to indulge in sexual activities with your cousin, your grandpa, sometimes even brothers, because of all these norms that are going on. No,
Yeah.
cousin Indio. No, your grandpa is
Yeah,
like
like
your husband. Yeah, you wanted to say
people
something?
take it like the same phrase, cousin India. Like, no, it's not supposed to be. It's not even supposed to be something that we without feeling bad or without thinking too deep about it, because it's deep. And as much as people would want to make it seem like it's not that deep, it is deep. And there are people that actually take these phrases, these statements into action, because it's something that has been engraved in them. So now you are saying cousin ndio mashtarobwa mumaja, and then how does it even feel right to you? And Zambia being a Christian nation,
Yeah.
in the Christian Bible, that is not allowed. That is not allowed. From where to where does it say cousin Indio? From where to where are we allowed to do these things? So yeah.
What would you say to those people that are taking advantage of vulnerable family members, or maybe those relatives in homes, that are maybe wanting to, or that have taken advantage of vulnerable girls and boys? Because we can't run away from the fact that currently there's sodomy that is going on the market. What would you say to such a person?
It's not right. That is not right. And at the core of your being, if you can like tune in, because God did not create you that way. You became that way because of society and whatnot. Like the Bible tells us in Romans that we should not conform to the patterns of the world, which means that the world has patterns in which it makes everything seem like it's a right thing when it's not. So by the renewing of our mind, and the only way that we can renew our minds, the only way you can renew your mind is through getting to know God for yourself and getting to know God through his word. Otherwise, that is all that I can say to you. Otherwise, I cannot stress how bad doing that is. It's so bad because you're destroying someone's life. Let's say at age 25, if I didn't deal with the things that I've had to deal with, I wouldn't have been in this position. I would have done so much more with my life. But then because of what I've experienced, I've had to not get to do the will of God, or to live the purpose of God, because my mind has been messed up. My mind was messed up. And now I'm at a place where now, instead of doing what God had purposed for me to be doing at this age that I'm at, I'm finding healing. I'm talking about the experience that someone had given me that I didn't ask for. So no, it's wrong. Yeah, that's all I can say.
Yeah. And I believe that there are people that are watching that have probably experienced it, or even maybe going through it. Yeah. What would your word of advice be to those people?
Don't go through it alone. I think it's a blessing that we have organizations like NGOCC, because it's one of the things that they stand for. Pompey says in the song Silence that the devil wants us to be silent because he thrives when we are silent. If it hadn't taken me this long to open up about something that was eating me up from the inside, because it's like starts from the inside and then it comes out, where you do not become productive, because how can you be productive if you don't like yourself? How can you be productive if you don't see yourself as worthy? So if only you can find the courage to talk to someone, you don't have to do it alone. And if you feel like maybe family isn't there to listen, you have NGOCC, you can reach out to them and they could be of help. They would be glad to actually help you, I believe. My coming out now, or my sharing my experience now, isn't because I want justice like right now. And I'm not saying that those that are going through it now should not go for justice, all right? But then what I'm doing for myself, it's for myself first off, because there are parts of me that I'm still healing from. So me coming out like this, it's not to bash anyone, family or otherwise. It's to encourage that if there's anyone out there that has experienced or is experiencing anything related to sexual abuse, incest, and anything of the kind, you don't have to do it alone. You can find people that can support you and help you through it, and not just through it, but take you out of it and get justice for you. I'm not here because I want an apology or views, because others may see it as that. I'm doing this solely for myself, because there's a lot of people that God has strategically put in my life that I'm supposed to help. And unless I have dealt with my own baggage, I will not be able to help those. And also, just as a way for me to show to you, little girl that is going through this or that had gone through it, that you're not alone. And I can be someone that you can look to, that, okay, I can get through this and I can be helped. And just to show that I am for what NGOCC stands for, and I would love to help spread the awareness and spread the knowledge of just how important and paramount it is for us to be there for one another. Because, yeah, what does it take? It doesn't hurt to be kind, and it shows even more that we are indeed Christians if we stand with one another and help each other. If only we could allow ourselves to see life not from the lenses or the perspectives that we are used to. Because for one, you have not experienced what the person on the other side has experienced. So for you to err on your views and opinions of hate, it only creates a shell for the person that has opened up, because they start thinking that, okay, maybe it was okay that I hadn't opened up, which is not so. It's not supposed to be like that. It's not supposed to be like that. We're supposed to be there for one another. We're supposed to help one another. So if anyone out there still thinks in that way, in that primitive way, because it really is primitive, in this day and age, you shouldn't be one that thinks someone opening up about their experience that you have not experienced is something that you should talk about and talk them down on. Instead, it's something that you need to encourage and support the person that has opened up. Be there for them, like be be that kind person that they get to encounter when they go back into society, having shared something that was personal and being vulnerable like that. Yeah.
Salome, thank you so much for making time for the NGOCC podcast.
Thank you for
And
having me. Thank you for inviting me. Like, I really appreciate.
We are grateful that you made time to come and share your story on this platform to encourage somebody. And I believe that someone out there who is watching has learned something. And I hope we can have more people to just reach out. NGOCC is very free. You can reach to us through our social media platforms, or better yet, reach to us through our member organizations, or just search NGOCC and you can simply get through to us, and we will be here to listen to your story and help you and ensure that you get justice for whatever that which you have experienced. This has been the NGOCC podcast, and of course I have been interacting with the beautiful Salome, who has just shared with us her story of how she faced or encountered attempted rape at the age of 11 from a family member. I hope that the people watching and even you parents do really take time to look after your children properly. Listen to them, give them time. When something happens, please don't sit on it. You are destroying someone's life and it has a huge impact on them. So please be that parent that is going to look after their child properly, accordingly, and give them the support that they deserve. My name is Chivesa Cecilia Munguluwe, and this is where we wrap today's episode of the NGOCC podcast. Till next week, thank you for watching.